Have you ever gone through nights like this? Just as you drift off to sleep, a sudden cramp in your calf jolts you awake, so painful you can't fall back asleep. I've heard this story from hundreds of older patients, and I myself, at 60, have faced it more than once. Yet there's a simple secret that many people often overlook. Gentle, regular movement every single day. I want you to imagine an autumn evening. After dinner, instead of sinking straight into the couch to watch TV, you step outside for a slow 15 to 20-minute walk. No rush, no pressure, just steady, relaxed steps, breathing evenly, feeling the breeze brush against your skin, letting your legs remember what it feels like to move. It sounds simple, but did you know that this tiny habit has helped so many of my patients sleep more peacefully, and those nighttime cramps gradually faded, then disappeared? One of my patients, Helen, 68 years old, once told me she had lived with painful calf cramps for years, so severe she dreaded going to bed. Medication was there, but nothing solved the problem. Only when she began walking after dinner, combined with a few gentle stretches before bed, did things start to change. A few weeks later, she returned and said, "Doctor, I feel like my legs are young again. At night I sleep deeper, and in the morning I wake up light and refreshed." Hearing her story made me believe even more strongly. Our bodies, even at 50, 60, or 70, still hold an extraordinary power to heal themselves, if we know how to nurture them. Science supports this as well. When we move gently, blood flows more freely, oxygen reaches our muscles more efficiently, and nutrients have a chance to nourish every cell. On the other hand, when we sit too long, our muscles grow lazy. Circulation slows, and that's when cramps strike. Have you noticed that sometimes after sitting for hours in front of the TV, when you suddenly stand up, your calf tightens painfully? I know many people think exercise must mean power walking, sweating hard, or going to the gym. But no, at this age, what we truly need is often just slow, steady, mindful movements. It could be a few yoga poses designed for seniors, or simply standing by the bed and stretching your calves and arms for a few minutes before sleep. These small things become nature's medicine. No pill can replace them. Have you ever realized that your body is like a garden? If you neglect it, weeds grow, soil hardens. But with just a little water each day, a touch of care, that garden will bloom again. For those of us over 50, movement is that water, that refreshing breeze that keeps the garden alive. This week, I want you to challenge yourself. Instead of lying down right after dinner, give your legs a gift. 15 minutes of walking outside, or at least inside the house. Consider it a present to your body. Then, when night comes, you'll enjoy a deeper, calmer sleep, free from those sudden cramps. And finally, I want you to remember this. There's another secret I want to share with you. Many times, those painful cramps are not because we lack medicine or even movement. It's simply because we lack water. That's right. Something as small as a few missed glasses of water in a day can trigger cramps so strong they rob you of your sleep at night. I remember one patient, James, 72 years old, who came to see me with a weary look on his face. He said, "Doctor, I don't understand why every night I wake up with cramps so bad I have to massage my legs for 10 minutes before they ease." When I asked how much water he drank each day, he laughed. "Probably just a few cups. I'm afraid if I drink too much, I'll have to get up at night to use the bathroom." I gently suggested, instead of drinking most of your water in the evening, why not sip small amounts throughout the day, and maybe add a little natural electrolyte source like coconut water? 2 weeks later, he returned with a bright smile. "It's amazing. Ever since I started drinking regularly, I've been sleeping straight through the night, no more cramps." You see, our body is like a river. When it's full, the current flows smoothly, nourishing everything along the way. But when it dries up, the riverbed cracks, and life struggles to survive. Our muscles are no different. Without enough water, the fibers lose flexibility, stiffen, and snap like a dry twig. But when well hydrated, they stay supple, resilient, and move in harmony. It's not just plain water either. Sometimes our bodies need those tiny minerals we call electrolytes. Sodium, potassium, magnesium. These are the sparks that allow muscles and nerves to talk to each other. Without them, signals get scrambled, and muscles contract suddenly. Have you ever felt your calf seize up in the middle of the night, like someone pulling a rope tight? That's your body's way of crying out, not just for water, but for electrolytes. I often encourage my patients to keep a small bottle of water with them. Sip gently, consistently, instead of waiting until thirst strikes. And if you spend time outdoors or live in a hot climate, think about adding natural electrolytes. Coconut water is a wonderful option, refreshing, rich in potassium, and without the added sugars of commercial sports drinks. One glass in the afternoon can quench your thirst and nourish your muscles more than you might expect. Science has proven this too. Even mild dehydration, just a 2% drop in body weight, can increase the risk of cramps, cause fatigue, and even impair short-term memory. For the young, that's uncomfortable enough. For us, past 50, our thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive, which means we often forget to drink until the body calls out with cramps. Think back for a moment. Have you ever woken up at night with your leg cramping, only to realize the next morning that you drank very little water the day before? If so, then you've already felt the link between hydration and cramps. Have you ever been startled awake in the middle of the night, your calf tightening so hard that you had to jump out of bed, clutching your leg in pain? Many of my patients over the years have shared this same story, and I've experienced it myself more than once. Nighttime cramps can feel like an enemy that sneaks up on you when you're most vulnerable. And while many people rush to think of pills or complicated treatments, sometimes the solution is as close as your own kitchen: a simple egg. Now, I want you to imagine this. Tomorrow morning, instead of rushing through a quick breakfast or skipping it altogether, you take just a few minutes to boil an egg. When you crack it open, it may look like nothing more than an everyday food, but inside that golden yolk lies a treasure chest for your muscles and nerves. Protein, to rebuild and repair tired muscles. Vitamin D, to relax those tight fibers and help them function smoothly. And vitamin B12, to nourish your nerves and keep those signals firing properly. Together, this trio works like a natural shield against those painful nighttime cramps. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Linda. She's 70 years old, and for years she dreaded going to bed because of the sudden cramps that would wake her in the middle of the night. She tried creams, stretching, even prescription medications, but nothing gave her lasting relief. When I suggested she add just one egg to her daily breakfast, boiled, scrambled, or however she liked, she was skeptical. "Doctor," she laughed, "do you really think an egg can fix my cramps?" But 2 weeks later, she returned with a smile that lit up the room. "It's unbelievable," she told me. "I'm sleeping better, the cramps are almost gone, and I wake up with more energy." What happened to Linda wasn't magic, it was science. Protein from eggs helps prevent the gradual loss of muscle mass, a condition we call sarcopenia, which becomes more common after the age of 50. Vitamin D, often missing in older adults who spend less time in the sun, plays a crucial role in muscle relaxation and bone strength. And B12, which many people absorb less effectively as they age, supports nerve health and keeps muscle contractions steady and controlled. Without enough of these nutrients, the body becomes more vulnerable to cramps, fatigue, and weakness. But with them, the body regains resilience. You see, sometimes we underestimate the power of the simplest foods. We live in a world full of supplements, powders, and quick fixes, but nature has already given us what we need. An egg isn't just breakfast. It's a message to your body that you're still caring for it, still feeding it the tools to stay strong, even as the years pass. I want you to pause and ask yourself, when was the last time you thought about what your muscles truly need? Not just calories, not just flavor, but the actual building blocks that keep you moving, walking, and enjoying life without pain. If you've ever woken in the night rubbing, if this message has touched you, I want you to know you are not alone on this journey. Thousands of people your age are rediscovering their strength, their balance, their joy, simply by paying attention to these little keys of health. So if you've ever felt the tremble in your legs, the weight in your steps, or the silence of forgotten energy, let's walk this path together. I'll be here, sharing stories, science, and gentle reminders that your body still longs to thrive. If this resonates with you, I warmly invite you to join our community by subscribing so we can continue this conversation week after week. And if you know someone, a friend, a sibling, a neighbor, who might need these words, share this video with them. Sometimes hope is just one story away. And now, before you go, take a deep breath. Feel your feet pressing against the ground. And remember, every step you take today is a step toward a stronger tomorrow.